Howdy, Possum Patty and Little Miss Titi here. And wow, it was a busy day. We were running around doing errands and appointments all day long. And now it's the end of the day and we're tired. Yes, we are. And this is why it is good to leave some crumbs on your table. Because believe me, I just wanted to come in, sit down, take a breath, relax for a few minutes, and maybe just play with a few things. And because I left these crumbs on the table yesterday, I don't have to think about anything. I can just sit down and start where I left off last night. So why don't you grab some journaling and come on along? Well, you may be wondering, what is all this fuss about crumbs on the table? Possum Patty, what do you mean you leave crumbs on the table? Well, first of all, I'm not talking about crumbs like the cookie crumbs that maybe the fairies leave all over their table when they're having a tea party. I'm talking about leaving a few little things on the table here. So after a day like today, it's like I didn't have time to plan anything or prep anything. And so if I hadn't left crumbs last night, I would have come in and had to start from scratch and pulling things off shelves and out of boxes. And you know what? I might have been too tired to do that. I might have just wanted to come in and sit down and just play for a few moments before I end my day. So last night I did some journaling and I left a few crumbs. Now the crumbs that I left last night were first some things to put into the fairy journals, or passports as some people are calling these. And that was these little tiny postcards. And they came from the fairy at Doki Doki Forest, Evelyn Rose, to the 3 fairies that live here at Soggy Bottom. So there's one for Angela Rose, one for Maggie Rose, and one for Ruthie Rose. Now the fairies told me that they wanted to get these into their journals. They each have their own journal that came with them from across the pond from their fairy godmother's house, Julia, in the UK. And I started working on these last night. What I did was I did a little flip through of some journals that the fairies made, and I started working in these larger fairy journals. These journals are more about the fairies than actual journaling that they're doing. Their journals are quite small, quite tiny like this. That's the size that they like to work in. So I had made a tag and did a few things in Angela's journal. Oh, and I added the picture of the journal page that I made. I did this sketch of Angela Rose when she came. And this was actually one of Janet Nash's prompts, but I turned it into a journal page about Angela Rose flying across, across the pond. And she's using a red rose tea bag as her luggage. So all her belongings are in the little tea bag there. And down here it says, I am home, and there's the ocean, a little octopus. I know he's hard to see, but... And I just took a picture of that journal page and put that in here. Actually, that journal is still sitting here. That journal is still sitting here. And so here's the full-size journal page. And I did this one about Angela doing the fairy laundry. And now I want to do a page to put in the postcard. And I want to preserve the front and the back. So, of course, we need a little pocket. Now, the fairies told me that they wanted to put a picture of Evelyn Rose on their journal page where they're going to put their little postcard. So I just went over to the printer and I printed out a bunch of pictures of Evelyn Rose at the Doki Doki Forest. Sort of like, you know, when you were in school and you had those little friend pictures and you would exchange them with your friends at school, you know, the little tiny ones that came in your photo pack. So I made a strip of those, and I have to cut these out. Move some of these things gently out of the way. All right, so here's my Evelyn Rose. I'm going to get confused with these names now. Evelyn Rose, Angela Rose, Maggie Rose. All right, this one is Angela, so let's not get confused. So isn't this beautiful? There is a video of Evelyn Rose arriving at the Doki Doki Forest. If I can find that, I will link that below. Now here's a pack of small papers, and what I like about this is the print is tiny. I mean, the papers are small, but the print is also very tiny, and I think that this would be a good pad to use in the fairy journals. Okay, I love these colors. Let's see if there's something that I might like that would go with. I kind of like this one. Let's see. That's a possibility right there. Although the blue in this green is pretty too. Ooh, I like that. Oh, don't worry, Possum Patty. There's more pages in the journal that you can use these papers on. Oh, you know what? I think this came from Temu, and I believe they called this like the wallpaper pad. So these are like, oh, look at the little tiny blue flowers. Oh, and it's already ripped out. All right, so let's use that one. Yeah, so I think they called this the wallpaper pack from Temu. So these are like all old wallpaper patterns or something. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna glue here on there. Okay. Now these pages are already decorated. You really don't have to do too much, but I'm adding pictures, and I want to add these postcards. Okay, how big do we want it? We're going to have it that wide. I want to be able to see the stripes there and some of this pattern over here. And she's going to go right there. Oh, look how lovely that is. And then the little postcards. I don't want to make the pocket too big because then it'll be hard to get the postcard out. So we're just going to go to about like that. Oh, yes, I'm loving these little patterns. Get my glue paper and a glue stick. I'm going to reach across the table. Should I write Evelyn Rose here? Okay, I wrote Evelyn Rose. You know, she looks a little bit like Angela Rose. You know what? They both have sort of pink hair and blue eyes. A little different, but they definitely do look like cousins. All right, let's see. If we decorate the top of this page with something. Oh, there's a little bunny there. Oh, you know what? I think Amy had sent me some pictures of bunnies or something. Let me look around. I had all these little tiny bags of goodies that came in friend mail in the bucket underneath the table, and somehow they got dumped out, and I picked them all up and I put them in the big bag, and then I realized they were from all different people. See, here's one of the empty bags. So if you recognize something that you sent, please shout out below because now I have no idea. But I was talking about the little paper with bunnies on it. Oh, and here's a little fairy. I remember somebody sending me this, and I thought that would be so nice to put on the page. And it's blue, and it's a little fairy bunny. That is so sweet. I think I'll just glue her down there. Oh, you know what? Is this washi somebody sent? Yeah. This is washi. I think I'm going to put this on the page too. Look at that. It's almost a perfect size. Oh, you know what? I can run it over to the other page. Can't I? There we go. Then I don't have to cut it. Put it there. And then I can layer this on top of that. Oh, you know what? She's got some really pretty material in here. Look at that. Do I have any blue netting? Wouldn't that be pretty under there? A little piece of fabric, something to give a little dimension to the page. I'm going to look around. Let's see what we got in the bucket. Ooh. Here's some tools. And here I see sparkly blue right away. Right. Ooh, yes, look at that. This is definitely fairy material, isn't it? There's a light blue here. And that's that. You know, if I put things in the basement, they sit down there and they don't get used as much. So I found that I have to leave some samples upstairs. Oh, this is pretty too. And I have to be careful with this because TT will run away with all these little bits. All these little bits. And there's some binding down there. Seam binding. All right, let's see. Get this out of the way. Look. She's already grabbing it. Okay, now this might be too heavy unless I cut just a piece of that. Or should I just put a piece of this? I think I'm going to save this for another page. And just cut a little piece of this netting. I closed the box of trims and I set it down on the floor next to me and TT's sitting on it. She's sitting there. Okay, stay. And put the sweetest little bunny fairy. Isn't that adorable? Because of the double layer of tulle there, I'm going to have to put a little liquid glue on there. I was just going to use the glue stick, but oh, now that'll stay down, hopefully. Well, I just got another idea. I do have some play to do in the other journals, and I thought this was the last thing I would put in here for today. This is the last page, but there's still journaling cards here that I can journal on for Angela Rose. But I found this playing card that someone sent me, and it's blue and it has a bunny, and I'm loving it. And I'm thinking if I make a flip, then I won't hide that little bunny right there. And then I can put a picture or something on this part and then journal down here. Oh, should I cover this? Maybe I'll cover this. And I went over to the drawer and got this material. Now, isn't this just perfect to glue on here? So I'll glue it to the back and to the card. And then it'll flip up. I can do it this way. All right, so let's make a flip. How do you make a flip? All right, I only need a thin piece. Thin strip. So what is that, about an inch? It doesn't even have to be that wide, but I like the material, so I want to see the material. And now we need something to cover this with. Okay, I'm going to look at the page and flip through. I'm kind of liking that to put on the back of here because it's just going to get mostly covered up anyway with a picture. There's some blue flowers too, yeah. So this is a great background piece. A great background piece. So I'm going to glue this face down. Oh yeah, so you need a couple little crumbs on the table to get you started. And then as you go along, you sort of get energized. You get inspired to keep creating. And sometimes you just need that little bit of a head start to get you going. I put some glue on the back of the card and plopped it down on that paper. And now I'm going to trim this off. This is a lazy man's way of doing it. Instead of trying to cut a paper that's the same size as the card, just glue the card to the paper and then trim it. Should we do corners? Should we do corners? Oh, let's do a bigger corner. Oh yeah. Oh, the top too? No, because we're going to put the fabric at the top. Yes, but I like that. All right, so now it's going to go this way. And this is going to go here like this. So the fabric is what's going to be your hinge. So this is the hinge. And I'm just going to use this Elmer's Craft Bond Extra Strength. I've had some good luck using this with fabric. So let's see how it holds up to holding something down that's a hinge. Okay. Make sure it's going in the right direction. Oh, it kind of looks like my mat, doesn't it? All right, I want it to get it like half on each side. Like that. And okay, now you gotta let that dry. You need a little bit of extra fabric right there where the hinge is gonna work. Well, now I'm gonna have to let that dry before I start flipping it up and down. Looks like I need a little glue there on that washi. Hold that down. Well, I sat here for an hour and I don't even have one journal done. But you know, it's not about finishing it up. It's not about what I'm going to accomplish. It's just about the time that I'm spending here sitting and relaxing and playing. So I'm going to set this one to the side. That's going to take a while to dry. Well, that didn't work. I was walking over there and I wanted to put this down and I was like, you know what? I think I want to change that ribbon on here and make it something softer. I don't know why that, I don't know why that just popped into my mind. And now I'm looking at this card and I'm thinking I want to distress this. This is my Dolores dauber here. And it's got changeable heads on it. She made this with Velcro and little pads. Don't ask me how she did it. And look at that. Amazing, right? Not my idea. Now the back is blue, but I'm thinking I should have put something else on the back. And it's okay to go back and add things if you would like. If you're looking at this and thinking, well, that's fine, but what can I add to that? Well, let's add a little distressing around the edge, soften it up a little bit. And what else can I put on here? Oops, get off of there. Let's see. First, let's see if this is going to look better on here. You know, one is not better than the other. I shouldn't even say that. Let's see if I'm going to like it better than that other one. Well, it's certainly fluffier. What if I make a bow? Give it a little trim. So I use that ribbon anyway. Look how nice that looks with that. And this is just some scrap of yarn left over from when I made a scarf probably 20 years ago. Snowflakes. I need some snowflakes on this side. Christmas stickers. Got big white ones. Oh, it's just some little white ones and gold ones. Let it snow. So let's add some snowflakes for interest on this side. They even kind of go with the background of that snowman, don't they? Yeah, because he's got a brown background. Let's see, I can fit a little one. That one's going off the edge a little bit. See, already I'm loving this side much, 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 much better now. Much, much. Okay, now I'm thinking of running one off the other side. While I let this go to waste. Let's put that down there. I feel like there should be a tiny, tiny one up there. All right. I'm happy. Look at that. Should we add more? That's enough. That's enough. You don't need a blizzard. Don't need a blizzard. Just a little bit of snow. How are we doing with the journal here, folks? Well, that is still damp, so I'm gonna, and this is still sticky. Okay, so now, let's see if I can make it 3 steps over there to put this down to dry without coming up with any more ideas. Well, Evelyn Rose, there's your page with the little postcard that you sent. Angela Rose. And the little fairy bunny. And I fixed this. I love that now. Look at that. Of course, this is going to flop down. I'm just not flopping it down yet. Okay. Okay, who's next? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right, let's go with this purple one. I think this is Maggie. Maggie Rose. Isn't this gorgeous? Maggie Rose. Oh, and Maggie has a dragon named Biscuit. And here's a picture of Maggie Rose sitting in her chair at Soggy Bottom. So basically, all I have to do is add these 2 pictures. And then we're going to make a pocket for the postcard. But we're going to do this first. And I'm going to cut this out. Do I want some paper behind her? Look at her dress, matches perfect the background. Well, this journal came with her, and I think Julia might have made it that way on purpose. These might work. Is this blue? Yeah, but it sort of matches that periwinkle there. Well, I can spend a lot of time doing not much, as you can see. It is so stress-free this way. And these pictures are printed out on sticker paper. And so I just need to plop it down on there. And I think for this one, I'm going to give it a little bit of a rippy edge. I love to mix geometrics and florals. We call that the floral clash. Take a little bit more off the bottom, I think. Oh, I love it. 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 Because this picture was taken in the UK, and this picture was taken here at Soggy Bottom. So I didn't put the date. I should put the date when she arrived. October 12th. And now the dragon. Let's cut off some of that white for the dragon. Dragon might go on green. Now her dragon's name is Biscuit. You might have watched that video. And Amy at the Doki Doki Forest sent me some happy mail. And she sketched a dragon onto the cover. And I put it on my copier and reduced it in size. And then painted it. And again, that journal's sitting here because all the journals are sitting here. Waiting to get journaled in. And there it is. Beautiful, shimmery, shiny, gold-spotted dragon. And this is Maggie in her house here. Well, I wonder if I should put a copy of Maggie's page in the journal too. Or just her dragon. How many more pages do I have? But I also have journaling cards. Okay, well, I'll just finish this page. I was going to do this all before I came on, but like I said, what we had to do took all day. So I'm just glad there were some crumbs here so I could sit down and play. I never get as much done as I think I am, but it doesn't bother me. You know, when you get old, it takes you twice as long to get half as much done. So does that mean we're running on 25%? I think so. I think I'm going to put the dragon on the green. I was almost going to use the same paper. I don't want to be all matchy-matchy. Take that down. But I will rip. Okay, that almost fits, but I'm going to have to cut this down a little bit. Yeah, so if you're new here at Just Journaling, yeah, it takes me a while to get things done. And I have been known to work on a journaling page or a spread for maybe 2 or 3 days before it gets done. So I apologize if you showed up and expected me to actually finish something really quickly. I know in 3 days some folks can make a journal, an entire journal. But with journaling, I take my time. I think I want to put them like right there. And then have that space and make a little tiny journaling card there about Maggie and Biscuit. Okay, that's it. That's it. That's it. Well, before I sign off and say bye-bye, let me run quick over there and get that other journal to see if the flip is dry, because I want to show that to you. I think it's dry enough now to show you, but oh my gosh, you've got to come over here and see what the 3 fairies are up to. Well, it looks like a tea party to me, Let's go a little closer and see what's up. They say they're taking a break from journal making and they're having some tea and biscuits. Only these are, I'm going to look at the tin over here. They seem to be magical animal crackers. Wow. Magical animal crackers. Let me take a closer look. They're dragons. Oh my gosh. So somehow Maggie Rose, found some dragon cookies that remind her of her dragon biscuit. Tea cookies, biscuits, biscuit to dragon. Now I get it. Now I get it. Well, it looks like you're ready for your second cup, ladies. Oh, I see. You want to know if I would pour some cream for you? Well, certainly. No problem. There you go. Some cream in your tea. And I do see some crumbs. They're saying, they'll clean up later, no problem. Okay, I'll let you get back to your little tea party with your dragon biscuits. I gotta look at those again. They are just adorable. Just like Biscuit the dragon. And it's amazing you found a tin of magical animal crackers. Look at that. Okay, we'll let them go. And I'm going to go over to the flip. So here's her journal. And this is the page we worked on today. And now you can see how that piece of fabric works as a hinge. I love to make the hinges out of fabric because they're nice and soft and they just work really, really well. Look how pretty that is. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Well, I didn't get a whole lot done, but we certainly had a good time. So I just want to thank you for coming along today. Bye-bye.